morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading. Today is the 1st of April, so April Fool's Day. Unless I can very cleverly play a trick on myself, I'm in no danger today whatsoever. Unless somebody sends me something, I guess. That's always a possibility. 1st of April, here we go into another month. It's such a strange new world we are moving into. Oh, love it. Look what I just flipped out. The wish card. Very nice. Some of you are getting wishes coming true. But the only wish that I've got at the moment is that we can find toilet paper at our local supermarkets. It still seems to be a huge problem. I don't understand why shops aren't rationing. There must be people just going in every day and buying it. But anyway, I guess we'll all get by. We're at home, so. Alrighty. I am using the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot for some reason. I was drawn to use that one, so let's see why. Okay, so the first card we have coming out here is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords can represent Libra, Gemini and Aquarius, but it's more about the character of this particular person. So this is a person who's reached, obviously, the top of his suit. So he is a king. So that sort of suggests that, you know, you're in a position now where you have worked through a lot of stuff and you're probably very comfortable in your position. This king has his sword held high, which means he's ready to talk. He's ready to communicate. You could be dealing with someone here who is in a profession where the voice is really important. So I always see sales. I also see IT with this card. So you could be dealing with someone in IT. You could be in IT yourself. Or you could be someone, as I said, who uses your voice for work. Sometimes it's seen as the doctor card. Sometimes it's seen as the lawyer card. So it's about logical thinking. So you may be dealing with someone who's coming from the logical mindset rather than, sorry, I've got a hair on my eye, a logical mindset. They're not coming from their intuition. They're trying to do things in a very practical and logical way here. We do have the Justice card behind. Now, when I see this, I think, well, okay, we could be talking about a lawyer. We could be talking about something in the justice system here. You could be waiting on a court case. You could have news about a court case. There could have been some sort of movement forward here. But this is also about someone coming forward to say something that's going to move perhaps some sort of karmic justice in the right way. So maybe somebody's holding up the karma here or holding up a situation because they're not speaking up. Okay, yes, definitely. So we have someone here who's not talking. You're someone who's refusing to communicate, who's trying to get away without communicating. So sneaking away there with all the things they want to say. Trying to get away with actually speaking to you here. Now, for anybody who's going through a court case, this could be someone who's not turned up at court or has refused to give a statement, or you may have someone who's playing games with you in regards to some sort of settlement, some sort of monetary thing here. Sometimes this could be something else in court that someone is just refusing. They could have withdrawn a statement. They could have just not turned up in court here. But somebody's refusing to speak up. Oh boy, okay. You may be dealing with someone here who has a drug or alcohol addiction. There could have been some sort of court case involving someone here. But if you're dealing with a person, they could have some sort of addiction that's stopping them from coming forward here. If for some of people here, this could be about a karmic relationship, but it can also be about the ego holding people back. So this person may have some sort of issue, some sort of obsession, some sort of problem that's actually stopping them coming forward at the moment. And certainly if you're dealing in a court case, you've got someone who's got really serious problems here, who's not turning up to do what they need to do. I'm going to pull another card. Okay. There is a real strong feeling here that someone is not really seeing things for what they are. Perhaps you're dealing with someone who's a bit of a dreamer. You could be dealing with someone who's so intoxicated or so involved in their own obsessions here that they are not seeing something for what it is. Something here is not being seen for what it is. Okay, let's get a bit more information. Okay, so we've got the Four of Pentacles here. Now, the Four of Pentacles for me is someone, especially in this particular deck, look at him. He's got his heart chakra closed down, he's got his head chakra closed down, and he's not grounded. So he's completely cut off from any sort of intuition, any sort of insight. He's just completely in that logical mind, the same as the King of Swords. He's not connected to source anywhere at all here. So you're dealing with someone who's closed down emotionally, closed down in a voice or a communication sense, but someone who's refusing to let go of something here, hanging on for dear life. Okay, but there is a victory here. So we do have someone who wants to come forward, wants to say something. Wow, if you're dealing in a court case, it could be that this person is really scared of coming forward here. Well, maybe if it's a karmic thing too, you may be dealing with someone who has more fears keeping them back than anything. That might be what's happening with that Devil card. But somebody's just not shifting, not budging. But we do have the Six of Wands here. So one would ask why then? Because we have the Strength card. This person's trying to find their inner strength. Okay, so they are overcome with anxiety at the moment, but they are trying to find this strength within them to come forward or do what's right. This is very much about doing what's right here. But you've got a person here who's absolutely just wrapped up in their own world, wrapped up in their own thinking, and can't see beyond the walls, is what Spirit's saying. Okay, so you could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio here. Yeah, someone's built their fences way too high here and they can't see beyond those walls. But there is a new start coming in, something's shifting. Something is about to shift though, because we have the Victory card and we have the Fool card and the Strength card. And that says to me, something in amongst this person, what they're experiencing, even though they've shut down and they've closed down and they're in denial, there's this little thing that just keeps nagging at them here, like a little puppy biting at their heels all the time. So even though they're trying to ignore things and stay in that sort of dream or illusion or delusion state, there is something that keeps nagging at them, trying to get them to understand there's something better on the other side of the fear. There's something better on the other side of this wall here. So I feel there's contact, some sort of contact here. This is the card of winning the battle but losing the war. It's a Pirate victory. It's like walking away from something, even though you haven't gained anything by doing that, but you've done it for your own good. You've done it for the right reason, but you may not have stood to have personal gain here. That's interesting. Okay, and we do have the Magician. Someone has worked out they can get out of this pickle. Okay, that's a good thing. All right, we have someone here who is ready to speak up. And I can see that here with the Magician. They are ready to talk. I think that they've held back here. And because they've held back, they may have held something back, whether this is justice or karmic justice. This person has been holding back, but they are ready to release here. I feel like something's held them back here. This could be fear, could be ego, could be, you know, drug and alcohol problem, could be some sort of not allowing something to go here. We do have the Seven of Cups. I feel like this person has lived in some sort of illusion. The Sun is behind that with the Queen of Swords. So I do think this is about to change. There's definitely some sort of change in the wind here. I feel this person has been holding back through their own fears. They've had a lot of anxiety. They've had a lot of stress. They could have been living in a delusion. They could have a drug and alcohol problem. But there's some sort of illusion here that has held them back. But it's like they've had something eating away at them, reminding them of what they need to do. So the universe has been sort of slowly going in, and so I always say, you know, poking the stick here, poking the bear, poking the hornet's nest. This person has been receiving the messages, and even though they've been in denial and not really acting on them, they are in some way, shape or form listening to what is being said to them, and they are going to act on that. They will take a leap of faith, but they just haven't made it beyond the walls yet. So the walls are still very, there we go. The walls are still very, very high around them. And I know that sometimes I share my own stories because Spirit will show them to me when I'm talking. So I always think they're relevant to what we're saying, and obviously relevant to someone out there. So I'm going to share something with you. This is going back a long time ago. Most of the players will be dead now. So my father, or the man that raised me, had come back from England visiting my other relatives. And I'd said to him about going to visit my auntie and uncle because they're both dead now. And my father had brought me something back from them. And I said to him something about their backyard, because as a child, I said to him, that backyard really scared me because I couldn't see over the walls. And I found it really daunting as a child because I couldn't see what was beyond the walls, and it really scared me. And I didn't like their backyard because of that, because it seemed so dark and so cut off from everything with these huge walls around. And my father laughed at me and he said to me, Yvonne, those walls are only like 2-3 foot high, which meant they probably weren't very tall at all. But as a child, I was so scared of what was beyond the walls. But looking back, I think that's just so funny now, because that as a child, that was my concept. These walls are so high, I can't see beyond them. And this is what's happening with this person. It's like they've built so much fear into some sort of situation, so much fear into whatever they've been going through. The fear has overtaken them, and because of that, it stopped them seeing things in a very logical way. So they've been consumed by this delusion or illusion here. But I want to say to you, they are coming out of this. Somehow or another, they've got the message from Spirit. And I'm thinking with the Tower here, that Spirit has, you know, poked the stick so many times and they haven't listened. Something has to happen here, because they are coming out here as the Magician. So we have someone now who is realizing their own power. And I feel that it's come. They may have had some sort of crisis here, some sort of situation here that may have involved an altercation, a fight with someone, an argument with someone that's made them realize that they can't keep pushing in that direction. And they've had a huge realization now. This could be an epiphany moment. It could be they don't want here. See, they're moving away from something. So you've got someone here who's decided that what they're being offered here is no longer what they want. So they're moving forward. So if you're dealing with someone that hasn't come forward regarding some sort of legal stuff, if you haven't heard from anybody regarding a court case, whatever, there has been some fear behind this, and whatever is happening now is about to come full circle. You're dealing with something now that has reached the point where it has to move forward. So expect some sort of communication here. Could be, as I said, communication from from a lawyer or a court case you've been waiting on. If you've been waiting for someone to make contact with you, they have started to see. They've had an awakening. Okay. The Andean Cross. I had some beautiful messages yesterday, and I want to say that, you know, I love reading your messages, and I think it's really important that you know, I see what I'm doing is right as well. Because I, you know, struggled for so many years doing this, and now I really love getting on and doing the readings and everything. But hearing back from you, you know, how much I've helped you somehow even spurs me forward even more. It just makes me want to do more of what I'm doing. And I hope to be able to move into this full time very, very shortly. So this is the Andean Cross, and it announces the start to a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day to day to that which until now has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. So this is about moving forward on something. So whatever it is here, there's definitely forward movement. So whatever you've been waiting for, whether it's karmic or legal, something is about to get going. Someone's had that epiphany moment. Have a great day.